Okay, just have a look what I'd like you to do. Gentlemen, just have a look. Now, I'm saying this because I'm recording what I'm telling you to do so I can post that on there. So this isn't really a cop out to not doing it as an exercise. This is what I've given you on Teams, right? You should also have an email with this on because I did email this to you when I wasn't here last week. If you have a look, everything that's in green, can you tell me what that is? What category of account that would be? They're all assets. So purple would be owner's equity, blue would be liabilities, red would be revenue, and yellow would be expenses. So what we have to do is we have to take this and I'm getting the right one because I've got too many things open. Okay, taking that and opening up your ledger that I also gave to you, I've now scaffolded this quite a lot. So I've done your first entry. Your first entry is sales. I've done all of the headings for you. You should know how to do those headings. And on the third, we had cash at bank. Now there's my cash at bank. You see it? The first revenue we have is on the third, and where did I put the money that I got for the sale of goods and services? Where did I put the money? I put the money in my bank. So on the third, even though it's my revenue or my sales revenue, the particular I write in corresponds to my sales. So what corresponds to this? Bank corresponds to this because looking at my journal, sales was 500, and what in my credit, what had to get debited for that sale? Cash at bank had to get debited for. So moving on, I write a credit entry of 500 next to the third. And have a look, gentlemen. I realize this isn't going to be on there. I'm not saving my screen, I'm recording it and I'll put this on later. Just have a look. If I put in that amount, that 500 in the credit, my balance works out. So I've done that equation for you. If I had to make a mistake, for instance, I put that 500 in my debit side, nothing happens to my balance. If I had to keep on being confused about what I have to put where, so on the 14th, I had sales, and the sales was 600. So it's how I keep on making a mistake. Having a look at it, I've got a negative 600 sales. So I can't be in a negative sales situation. So I've put this in debit when it should be in my credit column, right? And that makes more sense. Yep. Okay, so we go on. I've done the 14th, I've done the 3rd. We look at our journal, and we are now looking at the next time I see sales. The next time I see sales was on the 18th. Sales was 300, and where did I put this money? Is there a cash at bank entry on that date for that transaction? Let's just have a look. Is there? There isn't. So I had $300 worth of sales. What did I have to debit my sales with? These things have to balance. So what did I debit with more or less that $300? my accounts receivable, right? So that stands in for my cash at bank. So when I look at my ledger, my ledger has accounts receivable on the 18th instead of cash at bank. So I'm looking for sales each time. Every entry I see sales in, I write an entry underneath sales because this is my sales account, right? There's my sales account. But I have to give particulars. I need to know where this money came from and how much did we sell to John Crafter. Let's have a look. To him, we sold $300 worth of sales, not $330, $300. That $330 is sales and GST collected, so it has these two things added to it. Of that $330 that we debit his account with, $300 of which was sales. So our entry is $300, not $330, because that's how much sales we had. The last entry we have for revenue. So the last time I see red, got too many things open, was on the 27th. $700. Where did I put that money? I put it in my bank account, right? Because it was a cash sale and not a credit sale. So I'll put in $700, and that's going to give me my total. Now, the other thing we have to make sure that we have in that 500, is that a total debit or a total credit? It's a debit. So we make sure I know that all of these accounts or all of these entries are debit, right? My total, my balance stays debited, stays in the black instead of going into credit. Now, I would go to my journal and I'd look for any other revenue that I might have. Is there anything else that's in red except for sales? Nothing else. It's the only revenue I had, right? So I'm thinking Realo, R-E-A-L-O. The next letter is expenses. So I'm going to look at all of my expenses. So my first expense that I see is COGS. Make sense? So I am going to say, let's just do this again. My next expense, or my next entry, is going to be expenses. It's going to be cost of goods sold, as I have it there. Right? And with cost of goods sold, I only have costs of goods sold when I let go of inventory. So this is the reason I have cost of goods sold, because inventory decreased as my costs increased. And that's why each and every particular for my COGS is inventory, right? So the first time I see COGS was on the 3rd. How much did I have? 200. Was it debited or credited? It was debited, so I'll put in a debit amount of 200. If I've done this right, I should update my balance. It has updated, so I know I've done this right. The next time I saw not just an expense, but a cost of goods sold, I go down. On the 14th is the next time I see it. How much did I have on the 14th? 250. So I'll update this with, I've immediately forgotten how much I said. It was 250, and I write that in. Now, with the bank, I've got both debits and credits, and if you write them in the wrong spot, you're going to sit with something that is going to look like this. If I had to have this the wrong way around, I'm going to start seeing negative numbers. If you see a negative number, you just have to know that your debits or credits were written in the incorrect spaces, okay? So this is a heavily scaffolded activity meant to make certain that our ability to read our journals and then post to the ledger and then complete the trial balance is on point. Now, I'm going to ask you to continue this on. If there's any problems, just let me know on the Microsoft Teams. Ask that question there, just post it and I'll reply to it. In the 40 minutes that we have for the lesson, if this had to occur with you sitting at home, right, I would then